They deleted her name from the records. They told her to stay quiet and move on. But they forgot one crucial detail. One man remembered everything. They say history is written by those in power. But sometimes, history is rewritten to hide an inconvenient truth. This is the story of Lieutenant Sarah Miller, and the day the United States Navy tried to pretend she never existed. Sarah wasn't famous, she didn't chase medals or give grand speeches. She simply did her job, and she did it better than most. Her world was naval aviation support, long hours, relentless pressure, and lives depending on decisions made in a matter of seconds. But Sarah had one problem: she didn't fit the expected image. She wasn't loud, she wasn't political, and she certainly wasn't part of the right inner circle. Some officers respected her quiet competence, others barely noticed her, and a few openly disliked her. They called her difficult, too precise, too honest. But what they really meant was, she refused to stay silent when it mattered most. One night, during a massive joint naval exercise, something went terribly wrong. A carrier group received faulty navigation data. Jets were already airborne. Fuel was tight. The weather was turning sour. A quiet panic started to ripple through the command room. Amid the growing tension, Sarah saw the numbers. She double-checked them. Then she checked them again, and a chilling realization hit her. The data was wrong, dangerously wrong. If those jets followed the current plan, some of them would not make it back. So, Sarah spoke up. At first, they ignored her. A junior officer questioning senior command. It was unheard of. Unacceptable. She pushed again. Her voice was clear, calm, and direct. This data will cost lives, she said. The room went quiet. The air thickened. Some were angry. Some were embarrassed. One senior officer told her to step back and know her place. But Sarah didn't move. She ran the calculations right there, showing them the error on the screen. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't get emotional. She just spoke the undeniable truth. Finally, grudgingly, the mission was paused. The data was corrected. The pilots were routed. And every single jet returned safely to the carrier. Lives were saved, but instead of thanks, something else happened. Behind closed doors, the blame game began. Admitting such a colossal mistake would torpedo careers. It would raise uncomfortable questions. It would expose weak leadership. So, they chose the easier, darker option. They erased her. The official after-action report was rewritten. Lieutenant Sarah Miller's name was removed. Her critical role was minimized, reduced to a footnote. The credit for averting disaster was quietly shifted elsewhere. And Sarah, she was transferred. No ceremony, no explanation. When she dared to ask why, a superior told her, sometimes in a career, it's just better to let things go. She considered leaving the Navy. Maybe they were right. Maybe the truth didn't really matter. Maybe courage was just a liability. Months passed. The incident faded into memory for most. Then came the annual awards ceremony. A senior officer was about to receive a commendation for his exceptional leadership during the naval exercise. Sarah was there, sitting in the back row, in her crisp uniform, silent, watching. As the officer stepped forward to receive his medal, a man stood up. It was Admiral James Carter. A man known throughout the fleet for one thing: he never, ever forgot the details. He walked to the microphone slowly. The entire room expected a speech full of praise. Instead, he stopped. There's a correction that needs to be made, he said. His voice cut through the room. The audience stiffened. The Admiral turned and looked directly at the back row, his eyes finding Sarah. The success of that operation, he said, his voice ringing with authority, belongs to Lieutenant Sarah Miller. Murmurs erupted across the hall. She was the one who identified the fatal error. She was the one who spoke when others stayed silent. And because of her, every single one of our pilots came home that night. He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. And for her courage, her name was removed from the official record. That was wrong. You could feel the air in the room change. The Admiral continued, his voice firm. We do not erase courage. We do not punish honesty. And we do not rewrite the truth to protect our careers. He then ordered the report to be corrected publicly. And he called Lieutenant Miller forward. Sarah stood. Her hands were steady. Her heart was racing. And as she walked toward the stage, the entire room rose to their feet. Spontaneous. Thunderous standing ovation, not for her rank, but for her integrity. That day, her name was restored, but more importantly, her story was finally heard. Sarah didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. She simply gave a crisp, respectful nod, because she never did it for the recognition. She did it because lives mattered. This story reminds us that sometimes, all it takes is one voice to stop the truth from disappearing forever. Have you ever seen someone's truth ignored or erased? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe real heroes deserve to be remembered, like this video and subscribe for more true stories that need to be told. Thanks for watching.